Hello traders, how we all doing today? What a day it has been. Price action was absolutely crazy. SPY, Apple, Microsoft, NVDA, Tesla, all of them. Price action has been real crazy today. So, what I'm going to be going over today is just a review of Microsoft, Tesla, Apple, NVIDIA, and the S&P. Now, you probably wondered why I'm using Fibonacci on SPY, but more of switch zones of support and resistance areas for the other big holders in the S&P. Basic answer is that I more use the big holding names in S&P to guide my trades. And as you see here, if you get a big area of support or resistance that Apple, Microsoft, Tesla are all coming up to, then you're going to want to be paying attention, looking for calls. Now, if you're heading into resistance, you're going to be looking for puts. If those stocks are looking a little weak, stuff like that. And if you get any value out of this video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Anything would be appreciated. All right, so Apple today, we pushed down to a low of today. What was it? Let's see here. Low, it was 169.05, closed at 170.43. So what I'm looking at for Apple is it's starting to come into this zone, not the strongest zone right here. As you see, there was strong buyers. You had strong sellers for a little bit. And this is on the weekly time frame. So you might get a little bit of a push upward to 177. It's looking kind of like a good move to the upside. Now I would expect, let's see here, 174.42, whatever that closed at. 174.49. I'd expect that area to be to come first. Just mark it out right now. 174.49. So that's gonna be a major area of resistance right there to watch. So we might push down just a little bit further down, but I can't imagine that Apple will be pushing down too much more. It's looking bullish. Looks like just a retracement. And you can see here, this is another good area to watch. A high of 168.16. Just draw that in. All right, so that's another area to watch for Apple. I would expect to bounce off of there. Now let's go over to Microsoft. So Microsoft, again, looking great. As you can see here, price came into here, came back down for a little bit of indecision for 2 weeks, and then it pushed upward. Came back down to here, pushed upward, came back to here. I would expect maybe a push upward to about 333. You're probably going to get consolidation between this range for a little bit. It looks like what Microsoft's going to do in the long term. Short term, I would expect a move to the upside. So yeah, definitely look for Microsoft for a move to the upside. Now let's go over to Tesla. Now Tesla, same deal. We're moving to this range, and I believe I drew this switch zone based on the daily. Yeah, as you can see here, big area that was tested with buyers and sellers, came into here, bounced. So I'd expect tomorrow you might get a gap up tomorrow, or you might get a push to 252 or 249. I'll definitely watch that for tomorrow on Tesla. So Tesla's looking bullish, Apple's looking bullish, Microsoft is looking bullish, or at least in the short term, it looks like you're going to get a bounce for tomorrow, possibly. And then let's go over to NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, what we're seeing here is on the daily, you're getting a bear flag. So something just to keep in mind. Not the best look for the S&P overall, but nevertheless, Apple and Microsoft, geez, can't talk today, more have a bearing on the S&P 500 than anything. But so yeah, so definitely watch the video tomorrow. As you can see, we're pushing into this range. Price action is not too clear to me. It looks like we're going to be consolidating into this range. Possibly you're going to get, you do have a head and shoulders pattern. That's apparent. As you can see right here. Oh, shoot. Right there. Right there. So you might get a push upwards to this range. And then the neckline, I would say, so far is forming up to be like right around here. So NVIDIA in the short term is looking bullish, long term bearish, or at least consolidating. You just have to watch to see how that head and shoulders pattern forms up. And let's go over to the S&P now. So S&P 500, SPY, what am I looking for? Now, as you see here, we got a bounce off of 425, bounced it off that 61.8%. Great. So what I'm watching tomorrow is you're going to probably get a bounce upward is my guess. And if we get a bounce upward, where I would expect that to be, let's see, we got a high here of 453.67. A low so far this week of 422.29, which was today. What a day it's been overall, though. Oh my gosh, I thought we were going to dump for the rest of the day. Then we turned things around. Absolutely great. What really turned things around was, I believe it was Mitch McConnell who said that the government would not be, or at least would be working not to go into a shutdown, is what it was. So here's some levels I'm going to be watching. That 434 is going to be critical. We had to hold 425 at least. Now, what I'm going to do is go down to a lower time frame as well. Now, in the short term, what I would watch is, I would say you might get a bounce. I would watch. This is more of a pivotal zone than anything. So that 38.2 showed an area, but more watch that 50%. I would say 427.49 is going to be an area of interest, at least in the aftermarket to early pre-market tomorrow. So I would definitely watch that as an area to keep in mind. Yeah, so watch 427.49. Now, if we start breaking down those levels there, obviously look for more upside. More major levels before 34, but just keep an eye on that. And so for the news for tomorrow, let's see, what do we got? So tomorrow is Thursday. So Thursday, we got GDP revision, initial jobless claims, pending home sales. So pending home sales could cause some volatility. The big one for tomorrow is going to be at 4 p.m. Chairman Powell speaks. So in a nutshell, what I'm expecting for tomorrow is I'm expecting SPY to probably consolidate between the ranges of, I would say 425 to 427.15. Or actually, no, not 427.15. We want the high 428.10. So I'd expect a consolidating day tomorrow because on the daily chart, it wasn't quite a hammer candle. It was like a hammer doji is what I would call it. So nothing fantastic. We got increased volume, which is good, but I think that was from most of the selling. Could be from the buying as well, but I would expect tomorrow to test 425 again. And if we hold that, then this might be the bottom. We might move to the upside. But until then, just make sure you trade unbiasedly. Make sure that you trade just level to level. So tomorrow, I believe that we're going to consolidate and just be careful traders.